Hey Mixers, welcome back to another NBA player props video. We keep our best bet streak going with our one best bet that did hit. Unfortunately, Cam Spencer let us down and our other leans are not looking so good. So let's jump into a quick review and then we'll get into a bunch of picks for tomorrow. It is Taco Tuesday and we have a lot of good picks on the slate. It's also going to be a good slate for alt lines in my opinion. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so quickly reviewing the one best bet that did hit, SGA over 31.5 points. I told you that I had originally seen it at 30.5, but that I took the bump at 31, and he did have 35. So that keeps our best bet streak going. Our one lean Cam Spencer, that game's already over. He only scored 6 points. Later on, I did go in on his assist, but it was like right before tip-off, and he did crush that. So I'm sorry, I did not have time to get that out to you. But yeah, it was a bad call on the points. I'll just take the L on that one for sure. And then Landry has shot 0 for 7 so far today. So I highly doubt he gets here. But I guess he could. The game is not over. And then the bonus bet, Josh Hart, he's at 2 assists right now. It's in the third quarter. So I don't think he's going to get there, but you never know. Okay, let's jump into the picks for tomorrow. So the first one here, we're going to go back to Onyeka Okongwu over 9.5 rebounds and assists because it's just too low of a line. So I'm going to burn my hand one more time on Onyeka, and if he burns me again, I'll lay off. But I'm going to go back to him just for now this one time. He's over in 86% of the last 21 home games. Excuse me, only 71% of the last 21 in general, including home and away. He is over in 1 out of the 3 head-to-heads, which is the most recent head-to-head. The first 2 head-to-heads, he only played 22 and 23 minutes, and he was coming off the bench, so Clint Capella was the starter in those games. So now that Onyeka is the starter, I do think that he can get here for us. He has, I guess this isn't really good for Onyeka, but it's good for Jalen Johnson. But I was just looking at Jason Tatum's rebounds. He had 12 against this team just recently. So maybe Jalen Johnson has a really good day rebounding as well. But I think Onyeka can pull down a few, and he's been assisting like crazy, so that's why I threw in the assists as well. Okay, moving on. Giannis over 24.5 points. Love this play. We're getting this line because he has not hit it recently. These are just the home games, but he hasn't hit it recently in away games either, so he's had kind of a bad run in the last 10 games. But he is over in 54% of the last 21 games still, and that's 70% at home, which is this graph. And then he's over in 3 recent head-to-heads in the past seasons with 30 plus in all 3. I think Giannis is returning to form, and I also think that this is going to be like the Bucks are going to score a lot in the paint, and the Suns are going to score a lot from above the break and like 3-pointers and things like that. So that's how I feel like this game is going to go, and so I want to be in on Giannis for sure. All right, Austin Reeves over 7.5 assists. He's over in 62% of the last 21 games. That jumps to 71% in home games. That jumps to 93% in games without LeBron. I mean, with LeBron. No, without LeBron. Yeah. So 93% of the time. He's only missed 1 time in games without LeBron this year. LeBron is questionable, so he might play, he might not. It's an away game. I kind of think he isn't going to play, but whether he plays or not, I still think it's a good bet. It's obviously better without him, though. He's over in 78% of the regular season head-to-heads, which is the lower graph here. And he had 17 and 18 in 2 games played this year. One of those games was without Luka and LeBron. And then one of those games was just without LeBron. So if LeBron doesn't play, I mean, this is a killer steal of a deal that we're getting here. All right. Anthony Edwards over 7.5 RA. Now, he does play better in away games, and he scores a lot in away games. So you might think, let's include the points here. But I'm just not going to do that. It's a high line, and so I'll just take the RA. He's over in 81% of the last 21 games. He's over in 78% of regular season head-to-head games. So I don't really understand why we're getting this line. I did see it already moved to 8.5 on one book, but it is still available at 7.5 as soon as I started recording this. All right, Cooper Flag over 10.5 RA is just a lean because the hit rate is not fantastic. He's only over in 57% of the last 21 games, and he plays better at home. No head-to-heads with Atlanta, and that's why I want to go in on this because there is no head-to-head data. So we don't have any data. The books don't have any data. that gives us an edge because the books are always going to have more data than us. So when we don't have data, that is the chance for us to make gut calls, and if they're correct, we're going to cash out on that. So I want to take the chance here. So he doesn't have the head-to-heads, but and let me tell you this is a big but. Atlanta has been top 5 in the last 5 games at not giving up rebounds and assists. And they've been rebounding really well themselves. Cooper Flagg's just a great rebounder. He's a decent assister. So I thought about just the rebounds, 5.5, which I did play actually, and I played an outline at 4.5. So Cooper Flagg better not let me down. But my biggest concern here is that none of the Mavericks are going to be able to score. And so those assists are not going to go in. And this turns into a huge blowout. Maybe Cooper Flagg doesn't play more than 22 minutes. So that's my biggest fear here. But I want to go in on it on the off chance that it can stay competitive and that Cooper Flagg can kind of basically just do what he has been doing. I mean, when he goes under the line, he's usually pretty close to it. And then when he goes over the line, he crushes it. So that's why I feel like this is a fair line that we're getting, and I want to be going in on it. All right, we have a bonus bet for Booker over 5.5 assists. We played this in a game recently, and he did not come through. It was plus money as well in that game. But he is over in, 43% of the last 21 games in general, but that jumps to 71% in home games. So huge home and away splits. He's over in 3 of the most recent head-to-heads, 2 with double digits. And then he also likes to assist to above the break, which is kind of unusual, right? So most people, when they're assisting down low to the restricted area in the paint. And Booker does do that, but he assists more to above the break. So, and like I said earlier, I think the Bucks are going to be scoring in the paint in the restricted area, and the Suns are going to be scoring above the break and, from the mid-range more. Bucks rank 30th against above the break threes right now in the last 5 games. So, yeah, love this one for some plus money. And then we're getting plus money for some reason on DeAndre Ayton over 8.5 points. He's over in 76 of the last 21 home games, which is this graph here. That goes up to 87% with Luka and Austin Reeves on the court. That goes up to 91% with LeBron also on the court. So whether or not LeBron plays, still a great hit rate. And then he's over in 2 out of the 2 head-to-heads this year with 15 and 17. So I don't know why we're getting plus money on this line, so I'm taking it, and then I'll probably think about playing an alt line as well. Probably an alt line like on a lot of players in this game on both sides of the ball. We'll talk about it in the deep dive. Okay, these games do not have lines yet because a lot of these teams are coming off of back-to-back, so we're just not getting props for them yet. But maybe in the morning. I did look at the Cavaliers props this morning. Didn't see anything I felt like I needed to go in on. All right, so we have 4 best bets today. That means you get to choose 2 out of those 4 best bets that you think are going to hit. And if they do, then you'll be in for the cash prize giveaway that we like to do. Make sure you're subscribed and that you like the video, of course. And then I did want to mention a couple of things because these lines are on the move, you guys. I can only do the best I can. I have posted all of these on X right when I bet them. So if you follow me over there, you are going to see it first. Because it does take me like an hour to film this and probably another hour or so to upload it. But yeah, you will see it first if you follow me on X. Maybe we can figure out something better in the future for me to get that information out more quickly to you guys. Because I do see a lot of these lines moving. And then here is our 1 lean and then our 2 bonus bets. So if you want to, I guess you can choose these because they are regular lines. Well, yeah, they're all regular lines for like regular payouts, except the bonus bets are plus money. So if you want to choose these instead, like as the 2 best bets that you want to choose, go for it. I'll allow it. Let's go ahead and jump into Props Madness because there's going to be a lot to talk about. Okay, so the first game we're going to talk about here is the Mavs at the Hawks. So let's take a look at Jalen Johnson at home. He's over his points line 47% of the time. He has a great scoring matchup, really good scoring matchup. But a lot of the Hawks are going to have a good scoring matchup against the Mavericks because they're not a good team. He has a decent assist matchup, which I think he should be able to go over. We just talked about how Jason Tatum had 12 rebounds against this team. So I think Jalen Johnson could get, over his 10.5 rebounds line. Hold on, we're getting frozen here. All right, there we go. Personally, I just don't think any of these I need to be going in on. If anything, I'd probably take the full PRA And let's quickly look at the head-to-heads here. So decent on the head-to-heads. He has had good rebounding games against them. And that was in previous seasons even, so not even this season. Assisting wise, he hasn't been so great, but again, that was when Trae Young was on the team. Actually, this game was without Trae Young right here in the middle. So maybe not the assists. So maybe just stick to the points on Jalen Johnson and maybe the rebounds. So points, rebounds, or just points if you want to be going in on him. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has a bad shooting matchup above the break. Pretty good everywhere else, but that would lead me to leaning more towards Jalen Johnson on the points. Also, the other thing, Nickeil Alexander-Walker does play a little bit better away. So at home, 47% hit rate, away 71%. We're playing at home. So that would favor more Jalen Johnson's points, and which would mean that Nickeil Alexander-Walker is probably going to be assisting a little bit more, which he has been over in 6 out of the last 7 games at home. Let's see what he's done. Well, the head-to-heads you can't really tell because he had a different role on the team, so it just wasn't the same. He didn't have as big of a role. So yeah, I think if anything, Jalen Johnson points, Nickeil Alexander assists, those are all looking okay. And then with CJ McCollum, he has the same bad scoring matchup above the break, but he's got a really good scoring matchup everywhere else, but even better than Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He has been playing a little bit better in away games as well. So 46% at home, 63% away. So that would lead me also to his assists and less on the points. So, if you're going to play assists, I think Nickeil Alexander-Walker, CJ McCollum on the assists, and then Jalen Johnson on the points. And then Onyeka probably on the points as well. But he also likes to take a lot of shots above the break. But if anything, I would, 47% at home, 67% away. I think it's a Jalen Johnson points game, you guys. Actually, I'm talking myself into it, having looked at all this. So, if anything, we're going in on points for Jalen Johnson, maybe assists on Nickeil Alexander-Walker, maybe assists on McCollum. And then Onyeka, I've already told you, he's been assisting like a madman this year, and especially at home. 76% of the time he's over at home, still 62% in away games. So he's been a really good assisting this year. And then rebounding, he's been 57% at home, 52% away, so about the same. So I took the points and assist line, rebounds and assist line, 9.5. He's over 86% of the time at home, 62% away. And head-to-head, we can look at it, but I showed you it earlier in the video. He was not the starter in these 2 games. Clint Capella was the starter. So that was before Onyeka had the starting role on the team. All right. Dyson Daniels also has a very good scoring matchup. And I told you to stay off him, and that was wrong. Like, we should have been on him in the last game. So I guess you could go in on him. I'm not doing that. It's already moving up. It was 10.5. It's now 11.5. So people are betting this. His assists aren't as good, in my opinion. They're not as reliable as the other 2 players we talked about. So personally, I just want to be on Onyeka. But I don't think Dyson Daniels is a bad play. I don't think Jalen Johnson points is a bad play. Nickeil Alexander-Walker assists, CJ McCollum assists. So that's what we're looking at. Zachary Ricochet we're not playing as long as Kuminga's on the team. We don't know if he's going to play because he's questionable, but I'm not playing Zachary Ricochet if Kuminga's on the team, period. Like, I'm just done with him for the rest of the season. All right, Cooper Flagg, we already talked about his rebounds and assists, but let's just look at his points. So in away games, he's only over 42% of the time, 43% of the time. Better at home with 57%. The assists are much better in away games. The rebounds are about the same, but better, a little bit slightly better at home. And then the rebounds and assists combo line is a little bit better at home, 67%, but still pretty good away, 57%. So that's why I do want to take a chance on this. They don't have any head-to-head history. Maybe, the Mavericks can stay in this game. Remember when I told you yesterday, I'm sure you thought I was crazy. I told you the Jazz could accidentally win this game against the Warriors. And what did they go do? They won the game. So it wouldn't be crazy to me if the Mavericks stayed in this game. But, I obviously would side with the Hawks. But it's not out of my mind that they could do that. All right, PJ Washington actually has a good history against this team. So let's check out his home and away splits with Cooper Flagg. So with Cooper Flagg at home 65%, away 63%. So I love that kind of consistency. And then last year without Cooper Flagg, obviously, he was over in 2 out of 3 games, but these were, only 2 of those games were with Dallas. So over in one game at home and not over in the away game, which they are playing away. So that's probably why we're getting that 12.5 line. I think it's okay, though. I think it's pretty good, actually. Let's see. Away games. Assists, you know, I probably wouldn't want to go in on that. Rebounds, no. So for me, it's just the points on PJ if you do want to go in on that. I guess you could take the threes, but it's plus money. I mean, we need to maybe be on this. Hold on. Let's check this out. With Cooper Flag in home games, 35%. In away games, 42%. And let's check out the historical head-to-heads. Yeah, I mean, he shot 5 threes in this game. And then he only took 3 shots and sunk 1 of them. I think this could be a bonus bet right here. I mean, if you can get 142, it's only plus 128 on Sleeper. If you can get plus 142, I think that's worth, you know, half a unit or a quarter unit to put over 1.5 threes on PJ. He doesn't shoot a bunch of them, but yeah, I think that's worth it. All right, Max Christie with Cooper Flag at home 62%, away 43%. So we don't love that as much, and he is more the 3-point shooter, but his line is all the way at 2.5. So yeah, I don't want to be touching his 3-point line, and I don't think I need to be touching anything else on Max Christie. Chris Middleton, let's see. No, we're not on Chris Middleton, and I'll show you why. He has only been on the team, he's only played 4 games with Cooper Flag. So it's not a big, sample to look at, but it hasn't been good, right? It's just been meh. And so I'll just stay off him, go with the players that I feel a little bit better about. And then Daniel Gafford with Cooper Flag, he has a great scoring matchup right here under the hoop. In the last 5, yeah, it's even better. It's gotten even better in the last 5. And he's been scoring really good lately with Cooper Flag. Like in his last 6-7 games with Cooper Flag. Even the assists have been good. The rebounds have been good. So I think if you wanted to play a PRA on Gafford, I guess you could. But he doesn't have good head-to-heads because he hasn't played a lot in these games. So 20 minutes, 23 minutes, 23 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and 18 minutes. So his minutes have not been consistent in these head-to-heads. So it's kind of hard to read them. He's got a great matchup, and I think you could go in on it. And I don't think it's crazy, like I've said, for the Mavericks to stay in this game. Okay. Celtics and the Spurs. Sorry, I'm trying to go fast because there's a lot of games. Victor Wembanyama is in a bad spot. So he's, shoots 44% in the restricted area. They rank number 1. Look at all his dominant play types. Free throws, 19%. They rank 3rd. Transition, they rank 5th. Spot up, they rank 11th. Isolation, they rank 2nd. Pick and roll, they rank 5th. This is a rough team to go up against if you're anybody. But if you're Victor Wembanyama, this is not a good matchup for you. Head-to-head, he's cleared this line 1 time on his points, and that was in an away game. They are playing at home. I'm not saying he can't do it. He just did it against the Pistons, right? He dropped 38 points on the Pistons, who have the same bad scoring matchup in the restricted area. So he can do it, absolutely, but I don't want to be putting my money on it. It's a little risky. Assists and rebounds aren't great. I don't think they're bad, though. I wouldn't go in on it because the Celtics are one of the best rebounding teams, and they don't give up a ton of rebounds. The Spurs are also a great rebounding team, don't get me wrong. It looks like he has been over his first quarter points line at home in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of the last 10 games, which is a little bit crazy to me. It's tempting, but I'm not going to do it just because of that bad scoring matchup under the hoop. All right, Fox. Now, I want to show you something tricky about Fox. So, at home this season, he has played a little bit better, points-wise, assist-wise, and rebounding-wise. So this should be a good spot for him. His PRA is 67% over the line. Let's make it with everybody healthy. So Vassell, Castle, Wemby, everyone healthy. It does drop a little to 50%. And then head-to-head, he has played well against this team, really well, in fact. The 2 of those games were with the Kings. So with the Spurs, he's played pretty well. But who is missing in this game? Vassell, and who has a really good shooting matchup. And then I guess everybody played in this other game. So I think you could look at Fox PRA. If you were going to look at that, I'd probably just look at the assists. With everybody healthy, he has still assisted pretty well, although it has dropped at home. He's actually assisted better on the road. So I don't know what you take from that, but I think 5.5 assists for Fox is the only place I would want to be on him. Castle with everybody healthy, at home, 61%, 62%. So this is kind of the Castle play. But it's not a good matchup for him either. So, you know, they're good against all of his dominant play types. They're just a good team. Once this season already, it looks like he only scored 9 points in 27 minutes. So, I mean, that's a little scary even. At home, he's assisted pretty well. He hasn't rebounded that well. So, if anything, I'd go like a PA or just... Well, that's a lot of assists. I don't know. I'd do a PA on Stephon Castle or nothing at all. Vassell has a good scoring matchup. He has the best scoring matchup on the team. So, because he's the one that's going to shoot the most three-pointers. So, with everybody healthy... against teams that are bad against above the break threes. Let's take a look at that. Hasn't been fantastic. So, I don't know. This is where I want to be, though. Like, the data just tells me that this is where we want to be. So, let me undo that filter. Hold on. Yeah. If I'm going to take anybody's points, it's going to be Devin Vassell, I think. Over 13.5 points, although he just hasn't done it in the last couple of games. I think this is where he comes back to play. And I think you could go in on like an RA or a PRA even for him. It doesn't look pretty, you guys, but that is what I like. I'm not going in on any of these Spurs actually right now, though. And then Dylan Harper, his lines are pretty low. So if you wanted to go in on him, I guess you could. But with all these people healthy, with it expected to be in a really close matchup, I just don't think Harper gets the usage. All right, Jaylen Brown. This is going to be hard to read the Celtics because Jason Tatum's obviously back. And then Peyton Pritchard might not play. Vucevic is out. So there's a lot of dynamics here that we have to take into consideration. But let's just look at him in general on the season in away games. He's played very well, 72%. 33% on the assists, 62% on the rebounds. If anything, I would probably go in on the rebounds. Let's check out historical head-to-heads. Yeah, if anything, I'd probably want to go in on the rebounds because with Jason Tatum back, Jaylen Brown should be free to rebound a little bit more, and they're missing Vucevic, so maybe a couple more rebounds go his way. Jason Tatum, I've bet on him in both of these games, and he cleared it for me both times. So I'm happy with Jason Tatum at the moment. But let's look at all games because we can't just look at these two games only. Well, we can't really look at the playoffs either. So going back to the regular season, I guess. I don't know. It's just not comparable, you guys. He did play 27 minutes in both of these games. I guess we can just look at these two games. I don't want to be looking at games where he's playing 35 minutes. You know what I mean? Because he might not play that many minutes. He does have a good history of rebounding against this team. I don't know if Wemby played in those games, though. I would go like points and assists. If I was playing Tatum, I'd go points and assists against this team, which he has not cleared this season so far in the two games. So I don't know. I'd stay off him. Let's just stay off him. Peyton Pritchard, if he plays, should have a decent scoring matchup from three. It's at 2.5. I don't know if we really need to go in on that. Yeah, we don't. Derek White, though. Let's look at his three-pointers here in a second. So he takes 51% of his shots above the break. They rank 6th. So that leads me to believe it is going to be more of a Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum scoring game. So I guess we can stay off White, but that means White will be assisting. So let's look at White at home on the assists. Sorry, I clicked on the words. There you go. And then away. So in away games, 90.5% of the time he's over this line. Let's look at games last year with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. He's only 43% last year in games with both of them on the court. And then his rebounds were a little bit better. So maybe a rebound and assist line for him. Let's check out this season again. Not head to head. Yeah, this is going to make you go in on it when it really shouldn't. Like a 95% hit rate. But Jason Tatum being on the team just changes the dynamic so much that I don't want to be on it. I want to see more of this team with Jason Tatum before I'm willing to go in on something like this. It looks great, but I'm too scared of it. Kata has a bad shooting matchup, but he has a good... he should rebound more with Vuce off the team. It's a high line, 9.5, so I'm not inclined to take that. The points line you could fade probably. See what he's done head-to-head against the Spurs. He did get there one time. He shot 67% in that game, though. So I think you could fade this. It just moved from 9 to 8.5 in real time. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's 9 on Prize Picks. If you can fade that 9 line, that might be worth it. It's not like a super great look, but I kind of like it. And then Sam Hauser is a three-point shooter, which supposedly that's not going to be how this team scores points. Yeah, I don't think we need to. So we'll move on to the Suns and the Bucks. So this is going to be a Giannis game, in my opinion. So if you look down here, the Suns are the weakest in the paint and in the restricted area. A little bit in the mid-range, a little bit on the corner three, but above the break, definitely not. So that's why I like Giannis here. He's got a great history against the team. I know he missed like all of these games recently, but these are some tough teams. I mean, the Hawks can be tough when they want to be. The Celtics, the Nuggets are tough down low with Jokic. The Thunder are tough. The Hawks again, and then the Spurs are tough down low. So even back here, if you want to keep going back, the Hornets are pretty tough lately. So especially in the paint. The Suns are not. So that is why I want to be on Giannis. Kevin Porter Jr. is still out, looks like. Taurean Prince is questionable. If Taurean Prince plays, I don't know if that will really change my opinion here. And then I don't think we want to be in on the rebounds and assists. This is a team that doesn't give up a ton of rebounds and assists, but they are probably just going to give up a bunch of points to Giannis. That's what I'm hoping for. Ryan Rollins' line has dropped after he's missed it in like a bunch of games. These two at least, because I know the line was 17.5. He doesn't have a great scoring matchup. He did go over one time with no Damian Lillard and no Bobby Portis. Portis will be playing in this game. So I don't think Ryan Rollins' points need to be touched one way or the other. His assists, he's only over 33% of the time in away games, 47% of the time at home. Let's see, against this team, 3 and 5 in 26 minutes and 31 minutes. I think you could fade it maybe, but I just don't think you need to. Let's look at the full PRA for a fade maybe. I just stay off it. With Kevin Porter Jr. out, I mean, you just never know. So Bobby Portis, personally don't really want to be on him, but his hit rates are going to look the best because his line is so low. Assists we don't need to be in on. Rebounds we don't need to be in on. Threes are heavily juiced over, so we're looking at 6 points here according to the books, and then he'll probably make a couple more, like 8 to 9. I think this is an okay line. If you want to go on in it, go ahead and go in on it. I'll probably play it at an alt because I'm planning on doing a lot of alt line parlays to tomorrow because there's a lot. And it's Taco Tuesday, so there's going to be a lot of promos. So 9.5 for Bobby Portis I think is okay against this Suns team. Kyle Kuzma does not have as good of a shooting matchup as Giannis. They are really good against his dominant play types. Transition mostly. And then even pick and roll, but not as much. It's mostly transition. They're ranked 4th against that, and he gets 22% of his points there. But he has been scoring pretty well recently. He's had a good head-to-head against this team, even just with Milwaukee, but also with the Wizards. And with Giannis on the court, Kyle Kuzma does score a little bit better usually because he comes in for Giannis. So he's kind of playing like he's fresh when everybody who's just been defending Giannis is tired. So I don't mind it, don't love it. I'd rather go in on a Bobby Portis alt line. And then Miles Turner, I don't need to go in on this. He takes 48% of his shots above the break where they rank 5th. And even on the rebounds, he hasn't been getting there against teams like the Jazz where he should have gotten these rebounds. So I personally am going to stay away from Miles Turner. On the Suns side of the ball, I do like Booker assists, but let's look at his points. So Booker at home, 43%. Assists, 71%. Rebounds, 42%. So that's why I like the assists, and we were getting it for plus money for some reason. Oh, it's not plus money anymore. It was plus money though. I still like it, but you guys can decide what you want to do on that. Maybe just play an all over 4.5 because you're not getting that plus money bonus anymore. Jalen Green has been really frustrating if you've tried betting on him, which I have not, but I've been watching him because I want to bet on him. But he's a terrible, terrible shooter. So he's got a great scoring matchup, and he should get here because he has the most usage after Booker. Well, actually, he has the most usage. Like, he has more usage than Booker. So, I mean, he's going to take 19 shots in this game, 17, 20 shots, 16. So he's definitely going to be chucking them up. It just a matter if he makes them. So let's look at the three-pointers because, yeah, I think that he's taking 10 three-pointers a game, 8 to 10. Yeah, 8. Well, these are all 8. So about 8. He's going to take 8 three-pointers. So if he makes 3 of those, that's going to be like 9 points, at least free 9 points. Yeah, I don't mind a look at Jalen Green for points. So Booker assist, Jalen Green for points. And then probably I would look at Royce O'Neal for points. Grayson Allen is questionable, but if he does play, he's a really good player. He shoots 60% from the above the break 3. I just think, whoever doesn't get guarded is going to sink their threes. And that could end up being Royce O'Neal, could end up being Grayson Allen if he even plays. It's probably not going to be Jalen Green that gets like an open shot all the time. This 7.5 line is pretty interesting to me on, what is it, rebounds and assists for Grayson Allen. Yeah, I kind of like it, actually. I kind of like it. So maybe full PRA. You could throw that in an alt line, in our alt line parlay. You're probably only going to get like 21.5 though. Let's see if the points is better. For the points, you'll probably be able to get like 13.5. I like the full PRA if he even plays on an alt line. All right, Colin Gillespie we know plays better in away games, so 47% at home, 62% away, but he does have a good scoring matchup here against this team. 61% above the break threes, just like everybody else on this team. This is a three-point shooting team. And let's see. Nothing really special on the rebounds and assists here, especially not at home. So I would go like Grayson Allen for the PRA or the RA. Colin Gillespie more on the points, I think. Or sorry, yeah, did I say that right? Yeah, I did say that right. But I'm just going to be off Colin Gillespie. Royce O'Neal is where I would kind of more want to be. Well, honestly, if everybody plays, I won't play Royce O'Neal. If Grayson Allen's out, I think Royce O'Neal is a smash play. He takes 64% of his shots from above the break 3 and 10% more from the corner 3 that they're weak against. Head-to-head against this team, he's had kind of boom-bust. So I guess for an even line, we don't need to be going in on that. Maybe you can get an alt line. They're probably not going to give you 5.5. I know they're not going to give you 5.5, but you could do 2 threes. Let's see what you could probably get for that. You could use that as a parlay piece, like 2 3-pointers for Royce O'Neal. I think that's not bad. You'll probably pay like minus 170 for that, but if you throw it in a parlay just as a juice reducer, I think that's probably fine. And then Oso actually has been playing surprisingly well lately. About the same at home and away, but just lately he's been playing really well. I don't know much about the guy, so I'm personally not going to go in on him, but he's over 81% of the time in first quarter points to just score 1 basket, basically. Only 50% of the time at home, 57% of the time. But I don't think this is a terrible look. Well, it's heavily juiced, 185, and it's not available on the DFS apps. So, all right, forget about it. Moving on, we have a lot of games. Raptors at Rockets. So I actually don't like any of the Rockets in this game, spoiler alert, but let's look at it. So Kevin Durant at home lately has not been playing well, so 43%, 57% on the assists, which is probably where I'd want to go if I want to touch anything on him, and then 47% on the rebounds, 38 on the threes, 67 on the rebounds and assists. So you could go there, I guess, maybe at an alt line 8.5. That looks even better. or an alt line on the PRA over like 29.5. That's not bad. So an alt line on Kevin Durant might be the play. Şengün has not a great scoring matchup necessarily and not a great history against this team. Even when they were weak, you know, they were a much weaker team a couple years ago. Assist-wise, at home, he is doing a little better at home on the assists. Rebounds, he's been kind of miserable lately on the rebounds. At home, he has played better. But look at this. He's missed in like 5 out of the last 6 games. And not just by like 1, he's missed by like 2. Well, I guess that's only 1 more. But it just seems like a big drop from 9 is what we're asking for. And he's been getting 6. So I am not playing this, but they are tempting us with this low line. Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm not going in on Şengün. All right. Amen Thompson at home. Points seem a little high. He doesn't have anything special against this team. Transition, they rank 2nd against transition. He scores 20% of his points in transition. So, again, I think these lines are too high on Amen Thompson. He's been clearing them, which is why we're getting these lines. He's cleared it in the last 5 games. So, that's why we're getting the line. I think it's too high. It's not high enough to fade, but it's too high to take. Reed Shepherd, probably not interested, but let's just take a look. 50% of his points above the break, where they rank 10th. He's been playing so well at home lately, though. And that is why people are going to be in on this. I'm not. But if you want to be in on this, he's hit it in the last 6 games in a row. I just don't think he has a good shooting matchup. And I don't think that head-to-heads really tell us much because he played 6 minutes, 14 minutes, 18 minutes. So, you know, that's not telling us anything. All right, Jabari Smith Jr. at home plays pretty well. That's probably not who I would want to be on. It looks good, but he does shoot a lot of threes. And his rebounds look really good too. The Rockets are a really good rebounding team, but I just feel like it could go either way. Like Şengün could get 15 rebounds and Jabari Smith Jr. and Amen Thompson get like 4 and 5 each. Or it could go the other way around. And so I don't want to be part of that little mix-up. So like I said at the beginning, I'm not in on any of the Rockets. All right, Brandon Ingram, where I want to be here is in an away game on the assists. So he's over in 57% of the time over these assists. Head-to-head against this team, he's gone over 100% of the time. But these 3 games were with the Pelicans. But he did go over once this year with this team. But he converted 100% of his assists. So maybe that's enough to say no, go on that. What about the rebound? No. He has good like PRA and good points against this team. But again, with the Pelicans mainly. So I'll stay off of it. It looks like they're going to try and get him going early though. But his first quarter line is 5.5. That's really high. All right, RJ Barrett has a good scoring matchup on beneath the hoop in the restricted area, also above the break here. At home, he doesn't play nearly as well. And they're playing away, so perfect. So 58% in away games, 47% on the assists, 47% on the rebounds. So I guess the points is just where it's at. And this was 17.5, so it is getting bet up. So it's now at 18.5. Probably a little bit too high. I don't really need to be going in on it personally. He had 10 in a head-to-head this season. Scotty Barnes points is probably where I'd want to be, and I just want to be on the alt. So 13.5 is where I want to be. I already bet that. Let's put it back where it was, 16, and take a look in away games. 62% in away games. So that's why I want to be in on Scotty Barnes. And if he scores those points, that will be because of Emmanuel Quickley assists. So we'll take a look at that. And maybe some RJ Barrett assists as well. Yeah, the assists are okay. The rebounds are actually good. So if you wanted to play points and rebounds, I guess you could. But again, I don't know who's going to rebound for the Rockets. They're all good rebounders. I don't know who's going to rebound for the Raptors. They're all good rebounders. So let's just stick with the points here. You know, head-to-head, he has been really close to this line. But I think this is no Ingram, no Barrett, no Pirtle. No Barrett, no Quickley, no Pirtle. So nobody to assist him the ball. In this game, everybody's healthy. Pirtle might not play. He's questionable. But I like Scotty Barnes' points here. I'm on and alt. I might play the regular line. I don't know. Emmanuel, quickly, let's look at his assists. Now, he does play better in away games. So 52% at home on points, 72% away. On the assists, 33% at home and 67% away. So I want the assists here. I don't think I need the points, but we'll look at the head-to-heads here in a second. He actually has a good shooting matchup, especially above the break on the threes. So maybe an Emmanuel quickly PA is what we're after, actually. Okay, let's look at the head-to-heads. So, yeah, he's been right here at the line. So, I would take a PA on him. I know he hasn't been here on the assists. He's been here twice on the assists, but he's been assisting a lot this year, and I think Scotty Barnes is going to be the main scorer in this game. So, I would take a PA on quickly, if anything, not just the points, because I think that A is going to be an important piece. All right. I'll probably go on an alt line here for like 19.5 PA if I can get that on quickly. Pirtle might not play, but let's take a look. He has a really good scoring matchup. In away games this season, 46%. It's better than the home games. But he has just not played well this season, it looks like. You know, head-to-head, he has pretty decent hit rates. But like I said, he's just been playing much better. Well, last year he played much better. This year, he's been playing like crap when he's on the court. And then Colin Murray-Boyles is out, and Sandro doesn't have lines yet, but he has an amazing scoring matchup. So I'm not playing Sandro if Pirtle's playing. But if Sandro plays and Pirtle doesn't play, I might go in on a Sandro. All right, moving on. We're trying to go as fast as we can, guys. No lines in the Bulls-Warriors game, so we'll skip that. Pacers-Kings, I'm skipping that because both of those teams are trash teams that I'm not betting on. You guys can bet on them. People have been making money on them. I personally don't care. So, yeah, I'm not even going to look at them. Sorry, guys. You can look at them yourself, I guess. All right, Hornets-Blazers. Denny Avdija is only going to play like 25 minutes, I think. And that is the big problem here because this looks so tempting. 81% of the time. 90.5% of the time at home in the last 21 home games, but 30 PRA in only 25 minutes. He can do it because he only played 18 minutes in this game, and he had 31 PRA. But I do think the Hornets are a lot tougher team than the Heat. So I am so tempted to be on Denny, but I'm not going to do it, you guys. I'll show you the rest, but it looks all green. Everything looks green on him because he normally plays 35 minutes and he's only going to play 25. And he only has 2 games where he played less than 25 minutes this season. So there's nothing to look at. There's no data to look at. So I'll just completely stay off of him because I can't get any data on him. Jeremy Grant line does seem a little bit too high, the 18.5 points. He had 21 in a game head-to-head, but no Denny Avdija in that game, no Shaedon Sharpe. Now we have Denny Avdija playing at least 25 minutes. I don't think that Jeremy Grant gets there to that line. I don't feel like I need to be fading it, though, necessarily. Maybe the PRA. If you're going to fade, take the PRA 23.5. I think that's a little bit better. All right, Drew Holiday with Denny on the court at home has not been great. But he can always chuck up like 15 shots. So if Denny ends up playing less than 25 minutes for any reason, then Drew Holiday is going to probably get that usage. So I don't want to be fading him. If I'm going to fade anyone, it's going to be Grant. All right, Tamani Kamara or Tamani Kamara. I could see fading him. With Denny on the court, he has been under in the last 4 games in a row. And he gets another bad matchup against the Hornets, who are pretty tough. See if we can find any head-to-heads against the Hornets. He's been right at this line, so that's why we're getting it. So I'm not fading it, not taking it. Let's think about fading Grant at the 23.5 PRA, maybe the 18.5 points. That's all I like for the Blazers. Well, let's look at Scoot and Klingon real quick. So with Denny Avdija at home, Scoot has actually played pretty well with Denny Avdija on the court, and he's been working up. So if we look at his minutes, you know, his minutes are kind of going up since he's been back. And he was playing pretty well to end the season last year. So I don't mind a look on Scoop, but I'm not going in on it. Klingen does not have a good scoring matchup. With Denny on the court at home, he's only over 43% of the time on points. 62% of the time over this heavily juiced minus 260 line. And then the rebounds are 10.5, which seems like a lot, but he did have like 14 or something in a head-to-head. Oh, no. Oh yeah, 13 right here. That was a couple, last season. So this was last season. This was this season. He only had 8, but he only played 26 minutes. So if he plays 30 minutes, I do think he could probably get here, even though it's a tough rebounding matchup. So we can't fade that. Sorry, guys. All right, Brandon Miller in away games with everybody healthy. Oh, Kobe White just got ruled out. He was not ruled out earlier, so that means we need to look at LaMelo Ball assists. So we'll do that in a second. Only 43% of the time over this line in away games with everybody healthy. So if you want to fade Brandon Miller, I think you could actually on the points. Looks like he's been rebounding very well. But I don't want to play the guessing game on rebounds with this team either because everyone's a good rebounder. And Denny Avdija is a really good rebounder. Klingen's a really good rebounder. So I'm not playing the rebound game here today, you guys. It's under on Brandon Miller's points or nothing at all for me. Let's look at his head-to-heads really quick. Yeah, so I don't think we need to play that under just because of this history, even though players were missing. No LaMelo, no Miles Bridges, and then in this one, just no Salon and then just some role players, and he still had 26. So I feel like we don't have to fade that. Okay, Khan, who does play better in away games. Let's see if that holds true. At home, 23.5% with everybody healthy. Away, 42.9%. So he does play better in away games. We're normally getting him at an 18.5 line. We're getting him at 20.5. So the books are cheating us, so we're not taking that line. Yeah, he has a good scoring matchup, though, I think. Let's see. He did play this team once, head-to-head this year, 29 minutes, only 19 points. Nobody's important missing. So I don't think we need to be playing this. Oh, that was PRA. 19 PRA. His points was only 10. So yeah, I just don't think we need to be in on Khan. All right, LaMelo Ball's line was 20.5. Now it's 19.5, which I think is correct. Like 20.5 seemed too much to me. And he plays better at home, 47%, 38% in away games. So, and he has a bad shooting matchup above the break, 52% of his shots, and they rank 7th there. But they're 29th against pick and roll, which obviously LaMelo is very good at. So I don't know if I would be under his points still. Let's go over the assists, though, with no Kobe White. You know, I think that might have to be a look. Let's see what he's done head-to-head. 8 in a home game on 12 potentials. And then only 2 in 22 minutes in a 53-point blowout loss last season. So I think you could go in on the assists. It's not a smash spot, though. Yeah, it's not a smash spot, but I'll probably find myself on it. You guys know me. And then Miles Bridges. Let's take a look at him with everybody healthy. I don't want to specifically focus on like the last 20, well, last 10 even, because he was playing a lot better at the beginning part of the season, and now he's not. His usage is going to Khan, for better or for worse. So yeah, I don't think we need to be in or out on Miles Bridges per se. All right, I guess Kobe White's out. So Moussa Diabate's rebounds line is insane, 9.5. But I think he did hit it. Yeah, he hit it with 11 in a recent head-to-head. They won by 16. So I guess we don't need to fade that. And then Ryan Kalkbrenner just... his rebound's the only thing I'm interested in, and it's heavily juiced. So I don't need to be in on him. You could throw that in as a parlay piece, I guess. But I think there's better parlay pieces. You don't want to bet on someone who could literally get like 17 minutes. All right, Wolves and Lakers. The Timberlakers. I want to go on every single player in this game on an alt line, like every single one. So let's just look at it. So Luka at home with Reeves on the court this season, 61%. Only 45% in away games. So I like Luka on the points. I like him on the assists. I like him on the rebounds. I like him even better on the three-pointers, but it's heavily juiced, minus 196. So Luka's a good look, but I don't love it. Over 9.5 points is insane for the first quarter, but he's been doing it. He takes 44% of his shots above the break, and they rank number 1 against that in the last 5 games. So I think there's just better looks. So Reeves with Luka at home takes 35% of his shots above the break, so I still don't love his points. I like his assists. I like his rebounds. And then if we are already on his rebounds and assists, if LeBron does not play, I love his rebounds and assists. LeBron is just questionable. All right. So Luke Kennard I'm not interested in. Who I would be interested in is Rui Hachimura if LeBron is out. So we don't have to really look at Kennard, in my opinion, or Marcus Smart. Let's look at DeAndre Ayton, though, because his points at home with Luka, with Austin Reeves, has been banging. And if LeBron plays, even better. So I like that. Head-to-head, he's also had good head-to-heads against this team on the Lakers. Twice this year, getting into doubled this line. Well, it's 7.5 now. So I got it at 8.5 for plus money. If you want to take it at 7.5 for regular, well, I guess it's a little juiced, then you could do that, I guess. But yeah, I love it. So I'm on that already. I'm on Austin Reeves rebounds and assists as well. If LeBron does play, let's take a look at that. So Luka and Reeves at home. If LeBron plays, obviously, I don't love it. I think Austin Reeves has a better rebounding and assisting matchup than LeBron does. I'd probably take his over first quarter points, which, let's see. At home, let's do regular season games. Yeah, his first quarter points is not bad at 3.5. That is interesting to me if he plays. And then Rui Hachimura is not on here, but let me find him. If LeBron does not play, bam. Bam. We have to be taking Rui Hachimura if LeBron does not play. Over a 9.5 points line or something like that. All right, on the Timberwolves side, Anthony Edwards, in away games scores 76% over this line, but it's a high line, and I like the assists and I like the rebounds. So assists, 28% at home, 62% away. Rebounds, 67% at home, 67% away. So I guess the rebounds are the same. But I like the rebounds over 7.5. Looks like it's 8 now on Prize Picks. But that's dumb. They shouldn't have done that. I knew they were going to, though. I already saw it move as soon as I put it in. So look for a site that's giving you still the 7.5, because there's got to be a site out there giving 7.5 still. Yep, Sleeper is. I bet Chalkboard is. Boom Fantasy probably is, because they're very slow to move their lines. That's what we want on Ant. All right, Julius Randle in away games has been okay on the points. Let's look at his scoring matchup. It's all right. We know he's going to have the usage. That's what I like about Julius Randle. Let's look at the head-to-heads with Minnesota only on the points. Yeah, so I like Julius Randle over the points, 17.5. But the last time we took Julius Randle, he freaking scored 14. So that was in this Magic game, I'm pretty sure. So I did not, I played him at a 15.5 line for an alt line and his normal line, 17 or 18.5, and he hit 14, so he didn't even hit the alt line. So I kind of am burned by him a bit. Jaden McDaniels we did get burned with recently, and the past 2 games he's been horrible, but he is in a decent scoring matchup. He's been over 62% of the time. Same with the rebounds, 62% of the time. So a points rebounds, I guess, would be okay. Let's look at head-to-head on points in regular season games. Not great. I want to be on Randall points, even though he burned me already. Looks like it's we're getting a lowered line, so it should be 18.5. It's 17.5. So I guess let's just take that against the Lakers. Naz Reid in away games. He has played okay, but he burned me by scoring 2 points the other day. I don't think we need to be on Naz Reid. Dante DiVincenzo with Io on the team, because we know that really has been affecting him in home games. They're playing away. In away games, he's hit it all 3 times. And let's see, he scored a ton of threes. So that's why he hit the line. So I don't think we need to be going in on him because he's not going to shoot this many threes in every game. Io with Minnesota in away games is bad, so we don't need to be going in on him either. I think it's a Julius Randle scoring game, you guys. I really do. Yeah, even Rudy Gobert doesn't have a good hit rate on his points. His rebounds is great, but not great this year head-to-head. So I'm staying off Rudy Gobert. Yeah, that's it. All right, I hope, I was trying to go fast, you guys, because there's a lot of games, and I want to get this out. But hopefully there's some good looks in there. Don't forget to get in for the cash prize giveaway by commenting down on that video. And then, of course, like the video. All right, thanks, guys.